Everybody, I'm Christopher Green. You're tuning into AMTV Alternative Media Television. So the first Ebola case in the United States has been reported. The first infection, curiously, occurring in Texas, in Dallas. And my first response to that, which I tweeted out, make sure to follow me on Twitter at AMTV Media so you can hear all my current up-to-date breaking news and my very intriguing thoughts. I think that's why you guys tune into me. Not really sure. But my first thought was that, well, isn't this convenient that the first infection is taking place in Texas, a liberty state? You know, it's almost like the Obama administration engineered this disease covertly, as I discussed for several weeks now, to destroy and take out the entire liberty movement. Now, I also brought up a question several weeks ago, a very prudent and important one. Why would the U.S. still allow plane flights to come in from places like Monrovia, where the president is setting up a military headquarters right now through AFRICOM? Why would he allow planes to come in from places like Liberia, Sierra Leone, Guinea, where the disease is running rampant, and the CDC had estimated recently there would be up to 1.4 million infections, doubling every 20 days by the end of January? Are they trying to infect us? You know, I also reported on the fact that the CDC just happens to have the vaccine, a potential multi-billion-dollar vaccine to cure the disease. Not just the Ebola strain, the Zaire strain, but up to 70% of those potential mutations, including an airborne strain. Again, isn't it curious that the first case just happens to occur in Texas? Isn't it curious that the president is setting up AFRICOM, these military installments in this part of the world in Africa? Isn't it interesting and curious that they're still, even now, are still allowing plane flights to come into the United States? I guess to infect us intentionally so that we take the pill, so that we take the vaccine. After all, if you want to live, you better take this Obama-approved vaccine. If not, they might have to throw you in a concentration camp or quarantine you off. Again, it's so insane today. It is so wild. It is so far-fetched out there that sometimes I don't even know if I'm living in reality. But this is actually actual reality. The Ebola case, the first diagnosed in the United States, occurring in Dallas in a hospital. Some infected person flying back, being allowed to fly back to the United States on a plane from Liberia, has now already potentially infected thousands of other people, maybe millions, soon to be millions here in the United States of America. And I can't help but think that this is a part of the Orwellian depopulation plan, you know, what is inscribed in the Georgia Guidestones, what people call conspiracy theory, but just seems to keep on happening, seems to be coming true on a daily basis. Again, all of these stories I've been reported on lately have just been almost entirely crazy if it weren't for the fact that they were true, that they were actually based in reality. And now I'm looking at major headlines, mainstream media. Of course, I'll be doing a more comprehensive report on this after I've digested all of the facts. But this is absolutely insane. It just goes to show you what a great risk this disease is. My gut instincts tell me this whole thing was engineered, that this is an engineered disease, just like they ran on the front page of a major Liberian newspaper blaming the United States federal government that is supposedly there to help these people, blaming the U.S. and blaming them that they had conspired to engineer this disease to wipe out the African population. Again, we've seen this in history before. I mean, we saw it with the Native Americans. I mean, we gave them casinos. We were sorry after we destroyed their lives and, you know, wiped out 95% of their population. Well, the same thing seems to be happening now, and there's no safeguards in place. And that is the biggest warning sign and red flag. There's no safeguards. Homeland Security isn't stopping flights from this part of the world. They're still allowing these people in. They're bringing back infected cases, as they did just a couple of weeks ago with several individuals, probably to study the mutation, study the bioweapon that very likely has been engineered by the U.S. federal government, the West, maybe a rogue nation state, a terrorist organization, who knows. But this is looking more and more like an engineered event to me, an engineered disease. Of course, the United States is capitalizing on this either way, capitalizing on this right now with the establishment of command centers, military outposts. You can look all of this up at the State Department website. Just do a Google search of AFRICOM, and you can read all of this for yourself. And please follow these reports closely. Send any information that I might not have personally myself at this very given moment, any interesting facts that you guys uncover, links that you think I should know about as I'm compiling this story. Again, I'll do a more focused report on this in the very near future. I'm Christopher Green. Get it out everywhere. Make it viral, hard-hitting it in your face, and click the link below to support our sponsor.